Hey everybody, Alex here for Nerdy Inc., laying some cold hard truth on you. I'm coming at you in this format just because I don't really have time to set up my lights and my camera and my whole sound system right now, so I'm just doing it guerrilla style. And that's because it's not really going to be pleasant what you're about to hear. And I'm going to get some heavy dislikes in the first 30 seconds, but regardless, these are the facts and this is my interpretation of them. So let's just jump right into it. YouTube doesn't care about you. You aren't important to YouTube. In the grand scheme of things, you don't matter, I don't matter, and a lot of your favorite channels don't matter to YouTube. To understand this, let's take it back a bit. YouTube is, of course, owned by Google, and Google is a publicly held company. It's traded on a stock market, owned by shareholders, and has a board of directors who ensure the executives within Google are doing everything they can to make money. That is the primary purpose of Google. That is the primary purpose of YouTube. That is the primary purpose of any corporation, to make money. Communities are great. Public perception of an innovative and creative atmosphere is excellent. But at the end of the day, Google's number one purpose for existence is to make money. But of course, your favorite YouTubers make lots of money. PewDiePie has millions upon millions of subscribers and billions of views. And that's a fair point. Many top creators contribute to Google's bottom line. But you know who else rakes in money? Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Rihanna. Pretty much any artist who has a Vivo channel crushes the average creator in views and revenue without batting an eye. Movie trailers, likewise, are a huge portion of the bottom line for Google. When the whole "Where's the Fair Use" hashtag was trending, it created some great think pieces but no actual change. Why? Because it wasn't in Google's financial interest to abide by fair use. The money Google makes off your review that uses movie footage pales in comparison to the money Google makes off the actual movie trailer that's posted by the studio. For example, many of my movie reviews get flagged for copyright because the studio doesn't want me to use their footage, and despite the fact that I think that it is fair use, the studio says it's not. And so when we're in a stalemate, Google is just going to listen to the person who makes them more money, and because I don't make them very much money, if I make them any money at all, they're just going to listen to the studio. It is in YouTube's financial interest to cater to the wills of the studios rather than independent creators because YouTube makes more money off the studios. But you may counter with the idea that fair use is the law and YouTube should respect it. Well, Google has no need to listen to the law. That sounds like a horrible thing to say, but it's kind of true. A violation of fair use is a civil offense, not a criminal one, which means the government will not go after YouTube for violating fair use, only the victim of that violation. Which means that only you can bring a lawsuit if your right to fair use has been violated. But because not enough creators have the means to bring a civil suit to every violation of fair use, Google follows the money. Even the top movie reviewer on YouTube can come out and say, hey, this was wrong. They can even sue. YouTube will probably just settle, give them some money, reimburse them, and just keep an eye on them, make sure they're happy. But for the rest of them, it doesn't matter. Until the amount of money being lost from you fighting for fair use outweighs the money gained from studio revenue on YouTube, you don't matter to them. So how does this factor into the recent advertising news that everyone has been discussing lately? Simply put, it's better for YouTube to listen to advertisers than you. Advertisers can and will take their money elsewhere if they feel the surrounding environment is hurting their brand image. I don't know if there was one inciting incident for this whole thing that started a couple days ago. Maybe one corporation got hit with some bad PR, or maybe it's just been slowly building. But at the end of the day, advertisers can threaten to take their money elsewhere, and YouTube will honor that. Now, if you couple that with the knowledge that YouTube Red is actually doing fairly well, then you'll see that at the end of the day, you don't matter because you, as a small to mid-scale creator, aren't generating enough revenue for them to look out for your interests. That's the harsh reality. It sucks. It really, really sucks because at the end of the day, content is content, and you should be able to separate, what is the advertisement and what is the content. Any reasonable person can do that, but corporations aren't always reasonable. So what can you do about it? Well, you can take your money elsewhere. Twitch, for example, makes most of their money from user revenue. Monthly subscriptions and tips contribute very heavily to Twitch's income, so obviously they're going to look out for the channels and the users on them. You can go to Vimeo, you can go to some other proprietary websites, or you could make your own video streaming site with blackjack and hookers and do whatever you want. But if you want to stay on YouTube, if you want to continue to be a part of the community that you're a part of, then unfortunately you can do very little. This is a tiny little ecosystem that's emblematic of how the world works. Money controls the rules. Money is the reason that copyright practices are the way they are on YouTube. Money is the reason that advertising practices are the way they are on YouTube. And money is the reason that every time the YouTube community raises its voice, the complaints seem to fall on deaf ears. YouTube is hearing you, but they're listening to the people who make them the most money. And those are our thoughts on this. If you have thoughts of your own, let us know in the comments down below. I will gladly partake in discussing them, although I'm sure it will get messy. Hope you learned something. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Who knows? Just my thoughts. That's what I'm doing. Put my thoughts on the internet. Cool. All right. Well, I will see you guys next time.